Hello everyone, welcome to the Common Cantonese Words Every Beginner Must Know series. Now in this lesson, I am going to talk about probably one of the most used classifier for counting objects, as well as the Chinese character matter, to do, as well as to enter. Now, if you wish to actually study these words that I'm going to talk about in flashcard and quizzes format, please check out our study app in which the link of it will be in the video description below. So first, let us look at this common classifier. So this common classifier is pronounced guo, guo, and this is basically a common classifier for counting objects and people in general. So, for example, you got like let's say three doctors, then you would say 3個醫生. Well, of course, the most proper way is to say 3位醫生, which both works too. But 個 mostly when used, you could actually be used as a beginner for everything, and people can understand you to some certain extent. And of course, this is also good for counting objects also. So for example, if we're counting fruits, where let's say we have two apples, then we could say 2個蘋果, 2個蘋果. Now, of course, with this Chinese character, aside from being a counting classifier for most common objects, as well as if you're a very beginner level, it can be used for counting everything and get away with it. It can also be associated with other characters to form other words, such as 個人, 個人, which means individual or personal. So for example, if you have a personal account in a bank, then you would say 個人戶口, 個人戶口. Now if you want to say a unit or a digit, then you would say 個位, 個位. And if you want to say each and every one, then you would say 個, 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 個. Now, you may also notice that sometimes people would say in a different tone, in which these Chinese characters are very similar, in which the first one has a little square in the beginning, and that pronounced 個, 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 which means that one, right? But this is not the case. 個, 個means each and every one. So although the tonation and the Chinese characters are very similar, please don't mix those two up, as the meanings are very different. Now, if you wish to actually review these words and their meaning in flashcard quiz format, please check out our Android app under the flashcard set named Words of Classifier. The second character that I want to talk about is the character that means matter. And in Cantonese, it pronounced si, si. And of course, there are several several words of which uses this particular Chinese character. So for example, if we want to say an affair or an incident or an event, then we'd say si gin, si gin. If we want to say the word fact in Cantonese, then we would say si sat, si sat. Now, if we want to say an affair, matter, or thing, or in Cantonese, then we would say si cheng, si cheng. And if we want to say career or endeavor in Cantonese, then we would say si yip, si yip. If you wish to review these words in quiz or flashcard format, please go to our Android app and look at the flashcard set under the name of Words of Matter. Next, I want to talk about the Chinese character of to do, in which in Cantonese it's pronounced as 走, 走. And as with other Chinese characters, when combined with other characters, it produces a lot of other Chinese words with different meanings. So let's go over with the list as shown in front of you right now. So if you wanted to say why in Cantonese or doing what in Cantonese, then you would say 做乜,做乜. Now, you could also say 做乜嘢,做乜嘢, and it means very, very similar as well. Now, if you want to say to act decently or to behave as a wise or sensible person, then you would say 做人,做人. So, for example, to behave as a wise or sensible person, you need to be brave. Then you would say 做人要勇敢,做人要勇敢. Now, if you want to say to issue or to put out in Cantonese, then you would say 做出,做出. Now, if you want to say to do in Cantonese, then you would say 做到,做到. And if you wanted to say it in a more like a past tense, then you would say 做到,做到. Now, another way to say have done something or become of something, then you would say 做咗,做咗. Now, if you want to say to go to work, to take action, then you would say 做嘢,做嘢. If you want to say to finish or to complete, then you would say 做好,做好. If you want to say finished, done, or complete in more or less a past tense that you want to focus of past tense, then you would say 做完,做完. Now, if you want to say the way of doing things or a practice, then you would say 做法,做法. If you want to say to do business, to run a business, or to be a businessman in Cantonese, then you would say 做生意,做生意. And lastly, to make a mistake in Cantonese is pronounced 做錯,做錯. Now, some of these words actually contains profanity in it, and I'm not going to go over this in this video, but if you want to check it out, be sure to look at our flashcard deck as well as the quiz under the term under the name words of to do. And lastly, I wanted to talk about the Chinese character of to enter, in which in Cantonese it's pronounced yap, yap. Now, of course, there are a list of words associated with this particular Chinese character. So, for example, if you want to say to enter or to have entered or to have gained entry, then you would say yap do, yap do. Now, of course, if you want to say more like in the past tense, to have entered, for example, then you would raise up the tone from a 3 to a 2 in the second word. So now it's pronounced yap do, yap do. Now, if you want to say to enter or go in something, then you would say yap hui, yap hui. So, for example, if you want to enter a bank, then you would say yap hui ngan hong, yap hui ngan hong, where an hong is the bank. Now, if you want to say you have entered, then you would say yap zhao, yap zhao. Now, of course, in a less formal way of saying it, it also means to be convicted of a crime also. Now, if you want to invite someone into a room and say come in, then you in Cantonese you would say yap lei, yap lei. And lastly, if you want to say inside or indoors in Cantonese, then you would say yap mean, yap mean. And of course, if you wish to review these words in flashcard and quiz format, please check out our app under the flashcard set named words of to enter. Now, if you like the content and you like the knowledge that you learn, please like and subscribe to our channel, as well as if you have not done so already, I recommend you to download our Cantonese learning app, in which the link is in the description below. So this app contains the flashcard decks, as well as the quizzes of the words that you have learned in this lesson, as well as the other lessons that I have offered in my channel. Also, if you have any other learning questions, or want to connect with other people who are learning Cantonese the same as you, please join our community Discord channel, in which I will be there, as well as other learners will be there to answer your questions, as well as to mingle. And of course, the Discord channel link is in the description below as well. Now, thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next lesson.